Well, here I am. Somebody from nowhere. I don't know. This has been a journey for me to get here, to have this talk, I guess, or to videotape this. I think I've been a little bit obstinate in doing it, for all the reasons, I guess. But I've had some super amazing influencers and just people in my life that have been really like in my ear about doing this. So I'm doing it. So the whole concept of this channel has been really just about me sharing my journey, and I'll tell you a little bit about me and why I felt like it was, I don't know, not necessarily necessary, but something I wanted to do to share this phase, because I feel like a lot of people might be in this phase and kind of creep up on you that you don't even realize that you're in a phase and you're in a phase. My birthday was this month, it's April, and I turned 60. And damn, I don't even remember how I even got here. Like, I don't even remember even thinking, like, it seemed like 60 was so far away. Like, it didn't seem like it was something that was, you know, even in my hemisphere. And then all of a sudden it was. And I'm super fun, you know, fortunate that I came up in a family that age wasn't really a thing. And so we never really focused on the number getting bigger, and more so just on the celebration of life, that you were here for another year. So I think it kind of snuck up on me in an interesting way that still doesn't really bother me much. I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. It's can't do anything about it. You know, father time is father time. So I don't find that I spend a lot of time thinking about it or being concerned about it. I think my husband likes telling people I'm 60 much more than I really care. And then, you know, but there's always also that stigma with women. Like, you know, men get older, they tell their age, and they, you know, they become more distinguished. And for some reason, as women become older, we're supposed to crawl into a hole. And I don't know, I don't necessarily think we're supposed to crawl in a hole and die, but we're just supposed to crawl in a hole because everything is about being youthful and about being young, and we do everything we can to stay young and youthful and whatever. And I'm like, you know, I had a lady that was like, oh, 24 again. I was like, girl, I don't want to be 24 again. That shit was hard enough when I lived it. I don't want to do that shit a second time. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't care to go back through 24 again. I don't care to go back through 30 again. 40 I might be able to roll with, and 50, but I was like, shit, I don't want to do my 20s again. I ain't know shit. I was broke. I ain't know shit, thought I knew a lot, didn't. Broke, didn't know what the hell my life was going to be. And so I was like, I have no interest in going back. And I was super insecure, right? Like, you know, probably when I look back, like, you know, super insecure about everything about me, and probably had no reason to be. So anyway, I don't give a shit about getting older. That just is what it is. I don't give a fuck. But I've had some journeys, you know, like I've had some journeys, and I'm in a new one that I didn't anticipate. You know, the world is the world right now, and being an African American woman has its own challenges in today's society. And so I think coming to grips with some of my own shit, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. And I think so many of us are kind of going through it. And so just, if for nothing else, maybe one day my daughters will be able to look back at this, and it'll give them comfort in how they go about their lives. It would be great. Or my niece it just kind of depends. But I know it's just kind of felt like a necessary thing, that it's been pulling me, and people have been pushing me, and I think God has been in my ear about it, so I'm doing it. So I always love comments or chats or whatever. If it takes flight, great. If it doesn't take flight, then me and my 5 people will follow along, and I'll be able to go back and look at it and then remind myself of how it all started and where I'm at. But anyway, a lot of it started, I probably a couple of years ago, right? Again, still never really thinking much about my age, but much more about where I was at. I was an executive, HR executive, and at a company that was really struggling in 2024, knew in 2025 as they were starting a restructuring and the economy was being challenged with tariffs and stuff, that I would likely not survive the restructuring, and I didn't. And there was some messiness around it, but it is what it is. I don't care about that. But it was interesting because even as I remember telling my team mid-year, maybe March, April of last year, I was like, when this restructuring goes over, I won't survive it. There won't be a need for someone at my level. I'm like, there'll probably be a need for someone at my level, but yet they're gonna have to decide what they want to do. And so if they were to keep me and a few of you, that's not a job I want anyway. And I was really reaching the point in my career, it was just not even fun anymore. Like, it was not necessarily fun anymore. I don't know how else to explain it. I've been in HR for many years, over 20 years, and there were moments of just sheer, like, I just loved what I did, and I still do to a point, but especially where I was doing it, just wasn't any fun anymore. It was more heartbreaking, wasn't aligned with the leadership, wasn't aligned with the way they were conducting business, and my own principles and values always supersedes what a company is doing. Like, I have my limit of things that I'm willing to do, and I'm gonna always voice my opinion and say what I feel like needs to be said, whether you agree with it or not. I'm still gonna say it because I feel like that's always been my role, is to mitigate risk and whatever. And I can't mitigate risk if I'm not willing to tell you when I think something's not right. So I did, my position was eliminated in October. But from the time that I found out, or kind of recognized in myself, based on what they were talking about, that my role was going to be eliminated, to the time that it was, I started the conversation with my husband. I just didn't know if I really wanted another job. I didn't know if I wanted to go and back and start working for somebody else, and what would it look like. And I had started a consulting firm many years ago that I just kind of did on the side, a little here, a little there. And I was like, I think I'm going to lean into that and see what that looks like, and try to go down that path, because I don't necessarily think I want to work for somebody else. It's too aggravating, it's too frustrating, and so I, made that choice and decided, like, oh, that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to go down this path. I'm going to go from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. And baby, I was not prepared for the transition from that to this. That again is part of this whole, like, documenting just the mind fuck of reprogramming years and years and years and years and years of being an employee. Because I think when I woke up a week later, and I'm like, I'm my own boss. I'm doing my own shit, right? And I would say by lunchtime, if you think, like, literally by lunchtime, I was sitting at my desk in my office at home, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? What, like, years of going to work and open up your email and, let's see what the day has to bring, and look at your calendar. What are the meetings that I have to do? And all of a sudden I'm sitting at my desk like, okay, so now what? Now what? And just like frozen in the mindset of, oh my God, like what the hell am I supposed to be doing? And I had a couple of clients, so it wasn't like I didn't already have some clients, but I had clients, and I'm like, okay, but they were just, one was smaller, growing, one had been the same since I, signed up with them years ago, but it was really kind of like this thing, right? And I ended up having a really great conversation with this guy who is a consultant and African American guy from the Bay Area, reached out to me through it, was introduced to him through another person, and I remember him asking me, and we're talking like it had been maybe a week, 2 weeks at best that I had been out, and he says, I love kind of what you're doing, and your philosophy, like I dig all of that. He was like, but my question is to you is, what do you want to do with all that? And I always have something to say, right? I'm that person, like I always have an opinion, I always have something to say. And I mean, it shut me the hell up, because I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Like I've been out for 2 weeks. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for approximately 2 weeks. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do day to day. Let alone what I want to do from a bigger perspective, right? Like, and I, so I pushed back. I was like, well, exactly what do you mean? And he said, look, do you want to be that person that you just, you're just going to take on as much work and do as much work as you need to do to cover your expenses and to live your life? Or are you looking to build something that's larger than you and that will outlive you and outgrow you? And I was like, dude, like, I don't have an answer for you. And I haven't thought about that. And yeah, like, give me 6 months or so to kind of figure out, what that looks like for me. Because I honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I hadn't thought of that. And I'm just literally in a space where I'm just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do all damn day, not being an employee. And I've been an employee probably since I was 15 years old, because I think I had my first job when I was 15 years old. So I've always worked for somebody else my entire life. And so I don't know what it even feels like not to. So that journey started probably October-ish, it was. And it has been, baby, it has been a journey. And I thought really it would be more about the work and finding new clients and all that kind of stuff. But I really feel like the last 6 months have been so much more about me and changing a mindset and undoing years of being an employee and having those ebbs and flows, those days where I'm like, this is the best decision I ever made, and then waking up the next morning going, I need to find my ass a job because this is some bullshit. And like literally wake up in the middle of the night, like, what the fuck am I doing? And what made you think that you could do this? And then, a couple of days later going, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Like, it has been this, like, a roller coaster is easier than this shit that I feel like I'm dealing with right now. Having these, really great highs, and then not crushing lows, but definitely some moments of just sheer self-doubt. And now I feel like I'm a little bit more resolute, and I do feel like God has me in this place. I do feel like it's the right place. I have that whole thing in the Bible about God giving you, a peace that you like, that's beyond understanding. I absolutely have a really great sense of peace. Like, I don't, I do absolutely feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Doesn't necessarily mean I know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I do feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, but I do feel like this is a journey of a lifetime that I'm about to go in. And then in the midst of all of this, all of a sudden it's like, bam, oh yeah, and you're turning 60. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know what I want to do when I grow up, apparently. And I'm grown as hell, so you would think I would know, but I guess I don't. And so I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person. And I know a lot of people that are in that transitional period of whether it's or not, it's get another job, or a lot of executives are like, I don't know if I want another executive job, or people that want to get into different career paths. Like I've been doing this for 30 years, and now I just don't know if I want to do that anymore. I want to charge a different path. So I think a lot of people are in this really interesting place. And I don't think it's about age. I think it's about just where we are in life. And so on this channel of Becoming Cheryl, I feel like it's less about the age, but I wanted to go ahead and put that out there as a disclaimer, because I do want people not to, if you happen to come across this page, to not feel like it's not for you because of whatever, because you're younger, because you're older, because you're my age. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I think it's a journey that people are having. I don't think it's a journey that people of certain ages are having. I think it's just a journey that people are having. And I know a lot of people that are kind of having it. And so I'm a talker. And so I love to kind of talk through what's happening to me and with me and for me. So people are like, why don't you just create a channel and talk about it? And I was like, I don't know if anybody wants to hear about it, but what the hell. So if I do this I'm giving myself 6 months or so to figure out, maybe a year, and if it goes nowhere, then it's been great, and it'll be therapeutic for me, and if it helps somebody, great, and if it doesn't, 2 peas in a bucket. So that's really what this whole channel is about. And it's probably not going to be super fancy. Today I'm in Palm Springs. I live in California, so today I'm in Palm Springs. We left the city for a little bit of a respite, just for a break. And so I'll be back in the city in a couple of days, and I don't have a team or anything. I'm used to having an assistant. I don't have an assistant anymore, so I'm doing all the things myself. I'm doing so much more AI, which I'm totally digging. I'm finding my way through a lot of things that, if nothing else, have put me in a position to learn some shit that I hadn't necessarily put as a priority, because I had a team, and now I am the team. So when I post, I'm not promising any major frequency. Maybe daily, maybe a couple times a day, maybe once a week, depending on what's going on, maybe more. Maybe short snippets, maybe longer one. I'm already at 17 minutes, about to be 18 minutes. But hey, it is what it is. I'll talk to you soon.